Trudy, happy, tired dog. She has been for her first romp in the water along the shore here at Bahia Falsa. She's happy, we're happy. Our Lee has vanquished the electrical gremlins, and we are going to spend our Christmas here at Anchor. The last episode ended with a possibly electrical related non-responsive engine and a dead propane solenoid switch. Lee was puzzled, but inclined to think the two issues were unrelated. The next day, Lee quickly found the solenoid switch problem. So what's the wire to?
This is the wire that goes to the propane solenoid. It looks like it's broken. So I replaced the end to it, and I'm going to shrink the heat shrink on it.
Wow, so you think it was a broken wire that was the problem?
Yeah, when I was in there working with the ignition problem, I probably tugged on it a little bit and came undone, which means it wasn't really a good connection before, or it was already cracked or something. I'm not sure what it was.
Oh, I hope that's it.
I think that is for the propane, but it's not for the ignition.
Where is the wire?
It's one right here. I should have put it behind there.
So it goes way up.
It goes up there to the solenoid switch.
Okay.
We'll just turn it on. Yay! Propane works.
The engine electrical was a little more daunting, and Lee called upon his brother, Dan, who is a mechanic, for advice.
So therefore you have reasonable current being drawn. Okay. That's gives you a good starting point. I'll take a look at those and try it out.
Dan's advice was, when measuring for voltage, to put an electrical load on the component. If the component or connection was bad and just a voltmeter was used, it could incorrectly reflect the presence of voltage because of a tenuous connection. Putting an electrical load on the component would create a higher draw, and if faulty, would not be able to power the tester. Lee made a homemade tester using his spotlight. In this way, he was able to conclude there were bad connections between the ignition switch and the starter. After cleaning other connections... So that looks like a mess there.
Yeah. So anyhow, I'm not sure if this will take care of anything, but I did start at the beginning, and this wire, the positive cable from the battery to the starter, I took it off and cleaned up the nuts, and this washer was pretty rusted. No, it's not a copper washer, but it was a steel washer. It was rusted, and so I cleaned everything up, put it on, and I've got power through to the starter now, so I'm going to go outside and see if it starts up or if we still have more things to do.
Wow, so you didn't have power before to the starter?
It was intermittent with the my tester.
Ah.
So that may be what the problem was, or may not.
We'll see.
You're away from it, right?
Yes, I'm clear. Okay. All right, ready?
Yeah.
We ran the engine to verify the rebuilt pump was not leaking, the alternator was charging properly, and at idle put the transmission into forward and reverse. Temperature was good and everything checked out. And the cause of the corrosion? We had neglected our Vetus vented loop that had been replaced in 2017.
It's been dripping for quite a while.
And which creates a siphon break on the exhaust cooling. The vented loop was slowly dripping seawater, which trickled down onto the wiring. After Lee removed the top of the vent, there didn't appear to be significant grunge, but Lee cleaned with soap and scrubbed with a toothbrush, reassembled it, and when we ran the engine, there was no further leaking. It will be something we need to add to our yearly maintenance list. When a high-pressure weather system develops over the southwestern United States, it invariably causes a norther on the Sea of Cortez. And when there is adverse weather on the main body of the sea, such as a strong norther, the port captain closes the port to the departure of vessels under 50 tons. This was the case earlier this week, and an excuse for us to do some sightseeing. I had been intrigued by the road on the map that diverges from the Trans-Peninsular Highway and follows the coast northwest of La Paz. Crossing the lush cacti and mesquite-forested plain, the road closes in on the mountains that are visible to us across the water on our morning walks. I say us, but I don't think Blondie pays attention. As the road rises toward the mountains, it closes in on the coast, and Lee and I were struck by the sheer rugged beauty of the coastline. As kilometer after kilometer of lonely wild coast unfolded, populated only by the odd fish camp, I marveled that I had never heard of this drive before. What a surprise such scenic beauty was so little known. We knew this road extended up to San Evaristo, a great anchorage in the San Jose Channel, and according to Google Maps, about 2.5 hours away, or 118 kilometers by road. But how long would the asphalt run until the road became dirt? We had our answer when the road ended at a mine at San Juan de la Costa, and therefore the economic reason for the existence of this well-maintained road. In the distance, you can see an ore carrier being loaded, and across from us, Isla Partida and Espiritu Santo. Lee and I highly recommend this drive, and we celebrated a wonderful adventure with a late lunch at Anzuelo. Just in case you were wondering, we only went as far as the end of the paved road, about 40 kilometers. I don't know if I will have good enough cell signal to upload this video this evening, Christmas evening, but in any case, we wish all of you a Merry Christmas, belated as it may be. So, until next time.